Sue. Welcome to Lenormand Lovers STL. And today we're going to talk about focus cards and significators. So this is really important to know as you start to learn your skill set for reading 3-card, 5-card, 7-card, 9-card readings. So let me share my screen and we'll get started. So I'm really glad you're here today. All right, so once again, I want to tell you everything is based on this book by Rana George. It's The Essential Lenormand, Your Guide to Precise and Practical Fortune Telling. It's a fabulous tool, very easy to read and well laid out. So it's all based on that. All righty, so focus cards and significators. So the middle card of a 3, 5, 7, or 9-card reading can be charged to be a focus card or a significator. So a significator is a person in the reading. So charging a particular card for specific people, topics, concerns, it casts that card in a role as if it was an actor on the stage so that it can play a certain role in that particular reading. So choosing a focus card, so again, the middle card, it can either be randomly pulled, which is kind of like leaving it up to the universe to let you know what the focus of that reading is about. When I was reading cards professionally, quite often people would not come with a question. They would just want to know what came up. So in that case, we didn't pick a focus card and we just let the universe tell us what it was that that person needed to focus on. Okay, so the focus card is an important card as it represents a specific focus in the reading, and it is selected based on the question posed by the reader or the sitter. The spirit symbols directly relate to the primary topic of the reading. So every card can be chosen or activated for multiple reasons. For example, number 5, the tree, can be chosen for health, spiritual matters, mediumship, investment, genealogy, also past lives. So just to name a few. All right. So now the important thing to remember is that some cards are best left alone. Not all cards are appropriate to be used as a focus card. Cards that are exceedingly positive or negative in their connotations are best left alone to surface naturally in a reading. So like if you're asking about love, it's really best to just wait and see if the heart number 25 shows up in your reading. So cards like number 6, the clouds, that's on this slide, is best left alone because they have a strong vibration of issues and predicaments that needs to come out naturally in the reading. Or a positive card like clover should also be left alone to see if it comes up. So we'll be going to be getting into some suggestions coming up. So activating a card, so selecting the card that best represents your sitter's situation, subject, issue, or topic. So down below the video, there will be a link to the focus card list that shows up in this video. My gift to you, little bonus. All right, so talking about focus cards. So the first card is the Rider. This is the Dreaming Way Lenormand. So this is about, could be a bike, a motorcycle, a man. This is a message that's coming in, but it's usually in a reading, if you pull it as a focus card, signifies somebody new coming into your life. All right, the clover could be a bet or a lottery ticket. But this is a card that's best left alone as it's very positive and should remain in the deck to come up naturally in a reading. The Ship. This can be chosen as a trip, a transfer, a vacation, anything with an engine, car, truck, bus. So the Ship, number 3. 4, you would use it as your home. You could also pull it for a home, small business. It could be any kind of real estate. It can also represent your family or your tribe. The tree, we mentioned this before, on here it's health. So that's spiritual, physical, or mental. Mediumship, past lives, anything that takes a long time to grow. Now the clouds could represent the weather, but it's best to leave this one alone to come up in a reading naturally. The snake. So this is about pipes, drains, wires, repair work, but again, I would leave that one alone to come up naturally. Same thing with the coffin. This could represent a box or the basement or death, but it's best to leave this one alone, although I do use it in an example a little bit later in this video. So the bouquet, so it comes up as a gift, but you could also, if you had questions about what's going on in your garden, I would use this one. But again, this is a really happy vibe. It's best to leave that one alone to see if it comes up naturally. The scythe that cuts the wheat. So this is about a surgery, a decision, or a sharp object. I'm not sure how many people would do a reading about a sharp object, but who knows? So the whip. Generally, I use this to represent arguments or repetition, but it can also be exercise routine or sexual orientation. The birds, two birds talking, two people talking. So this can be interviews or meetings or conversations or calls or negotiations, gossip, dates, talking, visits. The child generally is only pulled for a baby or a child, otherwise it's left alone. The fox can be pulled for any job that has to do with a paycheck, where you're getting paid, or any work that you're done daily, weekly, or monthly. Also though, if you want to know about something shenanigans going on, something that you just got a feeling something's up, you could pull this card for mischief and something going on. The bear. So this is about the matriarch or the mother or the grandmother, finances, diet, the restaurant, your boss if you're already using the man or woman card for something else in a reading. Stars. I think this is interesting. This can be used for electricity. I'm not sure how many people would do a reading about electricity, but so electricity, maps, because it's a GPS, directions, or I would also pull this if I wanted to ask some questions about my dreams. What am I, not so much dreaming at night, but you could do that, but my wishes and dreams. Or I would actually leave this one alone to let it surface naturally. The stork. This can be pulled for change, a move, or pregnancy, but again, this one would be best left alone. The dog. So this is about loyal friends. Could be a doctor, an assistant, a friend, a lover, a known person, or a pet. The tower. This could be about your company, if it's a large company. This could be the establishment, an institution, corporation, school, government, all that good stuff. The garden usually signifies social groups, networking and things. So this would be groups of people, seminars, conventions, any gathering or a celebration. If you're out on social media a lot, you could use this as your social media focus card. The mountain is best left alone to surface because it's a very strong vibrational card. Then we have crossroads. I also call this paths. I get confused with this, but so choices or roads. So best left inactivated so that it can come up naturally in your reading. So mice, this is about stress, things that are diminishing or getting smaller. So theft, a loss of an item, or anxiety. But again, this is best to be left alone because it's an important card with lots of vibration. The heart, love, relationship. But if I was going to read on a relationship, I would probably pull a man or woman or child card or the dog card and leave this one alone to come up naturally. The ring, this is about commitment. So marriage, partnership, ties, or contract. So I would pull this up too if I wanted to do a reading on relationship. The book is about projects, studies, education, or what you don't know, secrets. So if you have a intuitive hit, there's something going on you don't know about, this is the card I would pull. All right, so the letter is anything written communication, but this could be diploma, awards, results, tests, exams, text messages. And then we have the man that I would pull up in a relationship, or the woman. You could use either one of those also for your boss if you want to do a reading on that. Try not to get too invasive though. Just, what do you need to know about? But don't say what's going on with them. Stay out of their business. How about that? The lily. The lily is an interesting card because it's a flower, and so you would think garden, but it's more about a mature couple, parents, grandparents, an older person, or a long-term investment. So this is one of those that's best left alone. So then we have, let me just fix this, the sun. So the sun is the happiest card in the deck. So this is about confidence, energy, and courage. But again, this is best left alone to see if it comes up in your reading. Now the moon is about emotions and creativity and reputation and physical ability, creativity. So this card is best left alone. But if I want to ask something about what do I need to know about my intuition, I would definitely use it. If I needed to know something about my reputation out there in the world, I would use it. So the key, the solution. So this card is about answers, and it's recommended to leave this one inactivated because it's important to show up naturally. Then we have fish. This is about consulting jobs, freelance employment, personal business, small business, sales, shopping, trades, and abundance. The anchor is about security, also goals, but leave this one inactivated if you can to see if it comes up naturally. And then the cross. The cross is your grief, burden, guilt, or your religion. And again, best to leave that alone to come up naturally. So now significators are focus cards, but it's specifically about people. So child, the man, the woman, those are pretty self-explanatory. You can also pick the dog for your best friend. Alrighty, so to focus or not focus, that is the question. In your mind's eye, you're going to see the issue that you're reading about overlaid with the relevant focus card that you've chosen. You're going to think about that as you're shuffling. So you've shuffled your situation into the cards. So then you can lay your focus card in the center of a 9-card spread or a 7 or 5 or 3. And then you would place the focus card in the center of that. Now, here's an example. In the 5-card answer line, I asked the question, what do I need to know about my mediumship practice? Because I'm a bit of a newbie and I wanted to get spirit's input. So I charged Coffin 08 as a focus card. Although this card is usually left alone, I felt it was essential to use it because it would represent loved ones that have passed over. So then I shuffled my cards and I found the Coffin card and I placed it on the table. And then from the top of the deck, I laid down the next 2 cards in front of it and then the following 2 cards behind it. So my interpretation of this was the key and the letter together is written communication is key. And I always channel spirit before my mediumship sessions, and I write down all the information and evidence I receive, what they look like, how old they were, how they died, where they lived, what they did for a living, hobbies, things like that. So those first 2 cards resonated with me. And if they land as being accurate, then you look at the next 2 cards. All right. So that was the child and the stork. So this would be the transitioning of the child, which could be the loss of someone, loved one, but it could also be the birth of something new, which is true. Mediumship for me is new, or transition is needed in a small way. So this would mean tweaking my way of doing readings. So either way, this reading resonated with me. So that's finding the card, laying it down, and then pulling cards off the top of the deck. That's how I did that reading. Now, you can also do it a different way. So again, if I was to use that card, the coffin, I would be thinking about mediumship as I shuffled, and then I would go through the deck and I would find card number 8. And once I find that card, my focus card, I would look at the immediate 2 cards to the left of it, and those would be what happened in the past. So it's already happened. And I would read those 2 cards together. And if they resonated, then I would go to the 2 cards on the other side of the focus card for the future. So I would read those 2 cards as what will happen. And knowing that we have free will and we can change the predictive outcome by changing our actions. If those 2 cards following the focus card landed for me, then I would say this is my prediction for the future. Now, it's often happened that the focus card does not land in the deck where you would have 2 cards in front of it or 2 cards after it. And if that happens, you just shuffle again. All right. Another great way to do it is just to allow the deck to pick your focus card. So if you did it randomly, and let's say you did a 5-card reading, you would just shuffle thinking about your question, and then you would just lay down the first 3, 5, 7, or 9 cards from the deck, and the card that's in the middle would be your focus card. All right, so here's another little example on how to do it, finding the card in the middle. So the client wants to know about their health, and you choose the tree to charge for the reading. You shuffle the deck and you think about the question the client has asked. When you're ready, you search for the card you have charged, the tree. So you see the tree right there. So look at the 2 cards in front of it and tell the story of those 2 cards combined with your spirit vocabulary. Ask the client if they ring true for her situation. If they say yes, then go to the 2 cards behind it and read those to combined for the prediction. If this is your prediction of the energy that surrounds the health of the client, which they have free will to change if they don't like it. So here's the explanation. In the above reading, I asked about my own health. I shuffled and then looked through the deck to find the focus card, tree, number 5. The 2 cards that fell before it were the fish, which is abundance, and letter, which is written communication. So that would be written communication abundantly. So that's true because I've been texting a lot lately about my knees hurting. Also, we're smack dab in the middle of the pandemic, which equates to the same spirit vocabulary, which would be multiple written communications. So think about all that news out there about the pandemic and health. So anyway, the first 2 cards, which represent the past, are true. Then I move to the 2 cards in the future, which are the bouquet and the stork. So for me, this would be transition and change will be successful or good. So during this pandemic, I'm walking daily, increasing the strength of my knees. Also, we're seeing changes and flattening of the pandemic toll right now. As a result, I feel that these cards represent my health at this time. So this is just a visual to show you where the focus cards land. So in a 3-card reading, we have card 1, focus card, card 3. So if you were to go through to pick your focus card, you would lay it down in the middle here. If you let the deck randomly pick it, you'd shuffle, and then you would just lay out 3 cards, and the one in the middle is your focus card. So for a 5 or 7 card, you can do the same thing. You can pull out your focus card, lay it here, shuffle and put 1, 2, or if you're doing 7 cards, you'd put 3 cards here, and then you would put down the next 3 cards, 2 or 3 cards here on the back side. And then if you're going to do a 9-card box spread or portrait spread, you'd lay out your focus card if you picked it, and then you would lay out the other cards around it. So we'll get into reading all these different kinds of spreads. All right, so this is just, the basics, again, laying down the foundation so that you can start doing readings for yourself and for others. So if you're having any trouble with your spirit vocabulary, go back to the first video, which is labeled 00 Spirit Vocabulary. There's the link and it'll be down below. If you're struggling with 2-card combinations, which is really the foundation of reading Lenormand cards, check out the 36 videos on YouTube for each of the Lenormand cards. The first 6.5 minutes basically are the same, so you can skip into the meat of the video if you want to. Anyway, it's Lenormand Lovers STL, and there's the link. Now, both of these links are in the section below, as well as my free gift for you, the focus card list that's within this video. If you'd like to drop me an email at sue@pipehyperpurpose, if you have any questions, I won't analyze your reading, but I can point you in the right directions, and I'm here to support you. So I want you to do what I did. Find your purpose, share your passion, and live your dream. And that's something that you can figure out with the cards, asking the questions, doing the work to understand the spirit vocabulary within. All right, my friends, thank you so much, and we will see you very soon.